You're driving down the highway and spot a white filling station labeled CrossChem, AdBlue. But did you know that behind that sign is a Latvian company operating in over 60 countries, led by a man who just wanted to fix a problem with his truck 20 years ago? In one of your interviews, you said if you can build a business in Latvia, you can do it anywhere. Is it harder to do it in Latvia?
So if you are able to go through all these chambers of hell in Latvia, believe me, you will.
Today I'm joined by Richard Anderson, founder and chairman of CrossChem. Richard has built one of the Latvia's most recognized chemical export companies.
I cannot do everything, so I need somebody who is also believing what I believe.
Yeah.
So this is how the big, strong personalities are made. You have an idea and you're trying to get somebody who has also following your idea.
Yeah.
Two together, if you will be able to keep it going, in one moment there will be, instead of 2, 4.
Mm-hmm.
After 4 you have 8.
Yeah.
After 8 you have 16.
Yeah.
And as bigger will be the followers group who will be leaving and having one target which you are pushing. The amount is limited only of how much you can have.
Yeah.
How big team you can have.
Hi, Richard.
Hi, Tom.
It was really hard to actually get you to the studio. We had some problems before the setup as well. And thank you for joining me. I think we have the saying in Latvia, everything that comes very hard is at the end very beneficial. So thanks for joining this conversation today.
Thanks, Tom, for having me today. It's just a bit of hectic year, so it's almost each week we were traveling somewhere and then setting the new plants, and it just takes a lot of time. So sorry for that. I would be happy to come over earlier, but everything comes when it has to come.
Okay, yeah. Big shout out to Ričards' brother, Ričards. He was the one actually who pushed and like motivated you, me, and promoted the hell of my podcast, because he's a heavy listener of Sales Diaries, Pārdevēja Dienasgrāmata, which is the name of the podcast. And thanks, Ričards, for that as well. He will definitely listening this podcast, so shout out to you. Richard, let's start. Let's imagine I've known you since your very early days. One day, someone stops me and he asks me, who is Richard really? Not just what you do, but who you are. What do you think I'd say, and what do you hope I'd say about you?
He's not a jerk. At least I hope. And yes, that there is somebody who is dealing in a good way in a business, and also for the environment. Mm-hmm. So in quick run, maybe shortly like that.
Okay, you mentioned jerk, not being jerk as a joke, but as you know that at some levels every joke has some kind of underlying meaning. Why do you say that you sometimes need to be jerk as a
jerk?
Yeah,
no, you always have some jerks.
Okay,
and these are it's somebody who is not completing the full picture. So and I believe we do. We do believe. I do believe we put the picture together.
Okay.
And people who works with us and who works with me is enjoying it.
Yeah. What's the what's the most heard thing about yourself when people maybe talk behind your back, but good things, not something bad? What's the most common trait that they would say about you, who you are as a person? Motivated, highly skilled, I don't know, sales oriented.
Okay, let's do it like this.
Yeah.
It's not positive, but they say I'm tough, and it's hard to keep it going.
Okay.
As much as in the morning it's been already done, should be done this, and in lunch it should be done already this, and in time for me it slips a little bit slower than for somebody else. So somebody might not catch up.
Okay.
And then that's probably the my main I don't know complicity with working with me. Yeah.
So in essence, you would say that you have very high expectations of people around you.
Because I don't know, I am just evaluating as myself. So
Yeah.
if I can run a half marathon in these minutes, and then why shouldn't you?
Cool.
Something like that. But it's we do understand that each person is individual. If there's a singer, it should be singing, not dancing, and
Yeah.
if there's a dancer, then it should be dancing, not singing.
Perfect saying. What kind of early experiences shaped your mindset as you are today? Did someone in your family like actually inspired you to have that entrepreneurial spirit, or that it just came like a light bulb moment to you at some certain point in your life, early or?
As much I remember myself, it was always a wish to be a businessman.
Okay.
Not even understanding what it might mean,
Yeah.
but just to be a person who is developing something.
Yeah.
It would be probably the right way, not a businessman, but developing something.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, if somebody would be asking me when I was 20, what would you like to do? Then I say I just have to go to the university, and then it starts at that hours, and then finish in that hours,
Yeah.
and that's it. And there is, let's say, no future targets. You just step by step going through it, keeping in your mind that you want it to be, let's say, entrepreneur, probably, or something like this.
Yeah.
And yes, and then it just one drop, second drop, and then it comes together.
Yeah.
When you actually starting to do something, it's been always wish to do something like that.
Yeah.
What it happened just
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting because I have heard a lot of opinions that just the desire to not to solve some things, because I think it's a mix for you. You wanted to solve something and you wanted to be an entrepreneur. But for me, it was always a wish to be a businessman, be around them, think like them, etc., etc. And right now, I start to think that it's a bit dangerous to like always want to be something that you're not, like in that essence, because in my opinion, you land in like leadership roles in business by flow. So you see an idea and you have motivation and you go for it. You just want to solve that problem, etc., etc. Do you think it's appropriate to think like that, or you should be like an entrepreneur and think always and think that you want to be, etc., etc.?
Tom, your friends are also very important for
Yeah.
you. Who you with, what you're doing with them.
Yeah.
So if you're just wasting your days and I don't know, doing this and that without any certain purpose, of course, it will just take you much time to get somewhere. If you have a focus, and then just step by step, you'll definitely will be closer and closer to it.
Mm-hmm.
So the who is around you, it's important. If there's a wife who is also not, let's say, passive but active, it also supports you. If there is, let's say, somebody in a family who can a little bit lead you, it's of course always good. So you have to have maybe some wish, and then put it all around. It's hard to say, okay, I'll one day I'll do this and that. Nobody knows. Focus, have your dream, have your plans, and move forwards. And one day it will definitely give the result.
Okay, before we dive deeper into what you do like on daily basis in your company, I want you to give me like a very simple explanation of what exactly is AdBlue, this chemical or liquid that you manufacture, and why is it needed in the world, in Europe and all over the world.
Okay, so just a little bit historical. So my first job was not about that. The second job, let's say, it was in Scania trucks, and Ervins Arends was the managing director of the company, and it was just a luck for me to work under him. So actually, there's please excuse my Latvian language teacher, but Ervins learned me at Latvian better than my Latvian teacher that's in primary school. and I was a marketing guy. So I needed to start with photos of used trucks to put it in the newspapers and things. And slowly, step by step. And he believed in me that there is a potential that this young 18 years old teenager can do something about and do some good things. And when you're in such a company, you hear the news, what goes on. It's a Scania, they're making this and that, and there is new truck is coming, and there is new technologies coming. And then first time I heard about Euro 4, and there the AdBlue will be popping up. And I made an articles which was published in Latvia and made the translations of it and represented this new technology. And then in 2005, I just quit Scania and started, let's say, construction business. It was an incredible time just to know that. I was working in Scania and earning 500 euros. It was lats, but just to keep it understandable. So it's 500 euros per month was a salary. And I quit Scania on 16th of September.
Šis podcasts man tiešām nozīmē ļoti daudz. Un ja arī tev šīs sarunas iedeva kaut ko vērtīgu, kādu ideju, enerģiju vai vienkārši vēlmi darīt un turpināt, nospied subscribe vai piesako man sociālajos tīklos. Tas ļaus man turpināt veidot šīs sarunas un aicināt vēl jaudīgākus viesus arī uz nākamajām epizodēm.
Before that, I had already a small experience because I had a dumper truck and it was delivering sand, and I was working in Scania and managing also this particular part of the business. And when I quit the Scania, 16th of September,
Which year? 2005.
5,
okay.
And then crisis. It just was full day to put it on the let's say delivering sand, rocks, and knowing the guys who's building the private houses and something like this. And and it was 3 months later. It was November. Actually, it's okay. September, October, November. It was invoice. I signed the invoice for 124,000 euros.
Okay.
So it was a huge jump, and of course, 2005, 2006, 2007, it was like
crazy.
Everybody
period,
was building everything. So everybody
yeah.
wanted to live in new apartments, houses, and it was just flowing. It was the money was flowing. And in 2006, I jumped in with another guy in international transport and forwarding. So it was long haulage trucks, vehicles, which was not anymore construction. Construction was still mine, but I jumped into another business. What was the money? Investing money in another business. And then it was by circumstances. End of the 2006, we received a brand new Scania, which was having this AdBlue Euro 4 truck, nice black truck, and the driver was sent to Tallinn to pick up the goods, and there was a call. Hey, we have a new alarm on the dashboard, and it's written AdBlue. And then it's like memories come back. What was it? What you was writing, like say 4 or 5 years ago, and something like this. And then it was simple that I knew everybody in Scania. Said, guys, what's going on? What is the problem? It's a brand new truck. I said, come on, now you needed this liquid. And this liquid was an AdBlue. Yeah. And as much as I remember it, the price was 3 lats per liter. It's about, let's say 4 euros per liter. Yeah. Was the price of it.
But then it's much higher because of the inflation. Right now, the price of 3 lats would be like 10 euros probably per liter, something like that, yeah?
Use it also. Yeah. Okay, but in the idea, it was
still,
super expensive. I needed to buy two 20-liter barrels or cans of it and fill up the truck. And there was a sticker. I took the sticker off and I called the guys who was supplier for Scania.
They just did sticker on the
sticker and phone number.
Yeah.
And when I called, I said, "Hey guys, so I'm this. I need a full truckload. So load it with everything what you have: IBCs, drums, pumps." The first invoice was about close to 50,000 euros.
Yeah.
And it was a lot, and that day, it comes back. And these guys who actually was calling, definitely, it's like one crazy guy who is buying AdBlue for next 5 years, something like this in my mind. But after 3 days, he was in Latvia. I said, if you're so, they was not saying that, but I think they was thinking like that. If you're so crazy, would you like to be a distributor?
Okay.
And for me, there was no other answers. I said, yes, of course. And this is how it went. 2007, the CrossChem company was established.
Yeah.
11th of January, and then it started. The first activities from that moved on. And what is the AdBlue? It's let's say a certain chemical which is helping to engine to reduce NOx emissions. NOx, there is a lot of X's, NO, let's say, in NO2, NO3, and different of it. Yes, that's why it's X.
Yeah.
And in the end of it, it's just reducing them. And reducing so critically that you actually can breathe what comes out of the exhaust pipe. And you know, long time ago, there was that if you want to make a suicide, you just close the doors, start the engine, and
you
and
can't
go to
do
sleep.
that easily.
Not anymore.
That's a good explanation. Thank you for this. When did you actually started to realize that this specific? Okay, so you build this. You are as a reseller for this AdBlue. You start to resell, but when did it click for you that this has a global potential? This company, it was at 12-11 when you understood that, hey, I will export definitely this stuff, or later.
No, it's the same. Who is your friends? What you do?
Yeah.
What you talk about? So it's in the reality. But we was very happy to represent the company Durial in Baltics. So it's Univar daughter company, and that was really fun. This marketing was good. Attitude was good.
Yeah.
But it was 2007 when Durial was sold to Yara. And we became a distributor of Yara in one day without any, let's say, asking us.
Yes.
And okay, Yara is a bit different animal. And for them, you know, having such company in Baltics instead of they having already a representative in Baltics, which is Brentag, huge chemical industrial distributor, and you know, and there's some CrossChem. Who are you? So, and then we start to face a lot of problems. Everything. There's delays. Okay, sorry, not maybe going into very big details, but it was very hard to actually work. And then we understood that we have to change something. And then actually what I did, I called to my chemical teacher, which was teaching me in primary school. Said I need to get some
brain power behind this.
One more time, let's do what she was telling to me.
Crazy.
And I started to take private lessons with her, and we started to move through.
At what age this was?
26, 27.
Going back to school. Wow, that's crazy to learn
basics.
Chemic.
So there was a full shelf of chemical books just bought, and you know, slowly just starting to realize, okay, what it goes on, how it should be, because I was very far away from it. What is a truck and what is a chemical? And we went through it. We actually, I got the basics which I really needed to move forwards. And then it was luck, knowing Matthias Kruse, which is a German guy, the Kruse family, and then he actually gave a very big push. So I was able in 2009 set up the first AdBlue plant, which was actually, let's say, designed by special requirements for us, and brought the equipment and started our own production. And you know what is 2009? 2007, we started the company. 2008, the crisis came. Everything was collapsing. Construction was dying. International transport and foreign, you just needed to push the money in it. So it was all red or black. And it was like really all was sold and money went into it. And if it would not be succeeded, I don't know.
So at that point you had like two active businesses running, yes? So construction and this CrossChem company, the CrossChem company that you have
because
started.
CrossChem actually, that's all this cross, it was like cross chemicals. That was the general idea of it. Crossing of the... If you would be needed a chemical, you should come to the cross, and we will supply you. And the CrossChem was chemical field. International transport was off in 2009, stopped completely. there was a long history after when we needed to clean up. I personally needed to clean up after my partner, and construction was still doing something, but this was not anymore my focus.
What do you mean with cleaning up?
Cleaning up construction cleaning up in International Forward.
Yeah.
So it was a joint venture between two guys, and when we split up, we agreed that nobody is going to, let's say, having anything against each other.
Yeah.
Okay. I invested my money. I bought the trucks for my own money and was not asking anything from you. So it was together, brothers till the end, something like this. And when it all finished, I didn't ask any euro back, but there was my private guarantees on the many trucks. Because first of all, we bought the trucks without any loans. Then the situation 2000 started to be, and then partner came, said, can we just put it back into the bank and get the lease of it and get the money because we need the money.
Yeah.
And if you're owner, you need to sign up. You have to give a private guarantee of it. So that's what this happened. When we even split up, I needed to pay his debts, or let's say our debts, but I needed to do it. So even we spoke about that, we going away and having no harm to each other.
Yeah.
It was not working. And yeah, okay. In 2000, let's say already 9, it was CrossChem 90% of me, and maybe some 10 is left for construction.
Okay.
But then after in 2010, it all was finished.
Yeah.
2010, the production started to work. I jumped into plane, started to go to the Finland, Sweden, Norway, first countries which can pay. And which might be interested in the product which is produced in Latvia. For prices are good and things like that. And so it started. And this first export goods started to go on and money started to flow in. And then I understood that this is not going to, let's say, loss, but it will be a win. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's really a really interesting story. I want to switch back to that moment when you, like, this shows exactly what your mindset is as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, because you initially called your teacher. I think you don't see it as a significant event, but I do see it as a significant. You called your old chemistry teacher and asked her to teach you again everything about how it is in English.
Basic chemicals.
Basic chemicals, yeah. So it's really pivotal moment, I think, because not a lot of business owners, they always want to delegate a lot of stuff. So I will get this guy who knows about this stuff, etc., etc. But you learned all the basics, and then nobody could bullshit you when they tell you something that it's not working. You can say them, hey, I know also something, so no, it's not like this. So it's really interesting. I think it's critical moment.
Yeah, Tom, it probably made some effect, but
yeah,
for you to understand.
Yeah.
I know from chemical, like a one drop from this glass.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly
of course,
huge. It's an enormous amount of information which is there.
Yeah.
And I know maybe a small little piece. But usually you don't need not much. You need the people who know. You like to work with the people which are pros in their let's say professional life.
Yes.
And if you can rely on them, if you can trust on them, you don't need to know everything. You just need to manage that they are happy, that they're actually making the things happen the way you want. And this is one of the things maybe we'll later on. Touch this,
Sure. I have one question regarding that later, but let's move on. First customers. I remember my first customers in working in Map-on very brightly. It was a transportation company, 25 trucks, all Mercedes-Benz actresses, 2040, 2070. So I have that knowledge in my head ingrained. You always remember all those first times, your first girlfriend, first customer, etc., etc. And do you remember your first client who actually believed in you and you signed contract? Was it like, yes, I won that, yeah?
Yes, of course. First of all, I was the first customer.
Okay, yeah.
Secondly, the customer who was actually paying for my product was Dmitry. It's company West Auto.
Okay.
And this is an amazing guy. He's also went through hard periods of life. Definitely in the international transport is very active thing, and then you have to be also very active. But Dmitry was the first guy who actually said, okay. He was driving to and delivering the goods to Norway, and you firewood there, and then the food and the fish comes back, and he was the first, and then it slowly, because I was in international transport forwarding. I knew the guys around of it.
Yeah, you had a network.
It was quite easy to pick up the phone and say, hey, Dmitry, hey.
And they trust you already, yeah.
Well, they know me from other side. I was not doing any bad harming things for them, and then you come from the friendly side, so then it was easier, and there was actually a big deficit. At the beginning of it was like you could not get the normal price of AdBlue. It was actually a problem, and you just brought the solution.
Yeah, it's critical. So always everyone is saying that you should always greet with people, network, etc., and you're actually showing it as an example. You worked previously in logistics. You had this base of potential customers. You never knew that they were your potential customers, but you treated them very good. They remembered you with very good memories, and then you came to them and they just trusted you with the new business.
Business with people after some while you might be doing with the people who are unknown for you totally, but the first and easy way is of course to sell your, let's say, all schoolmates. Cool.
Okay, let's talk about the growing of the CrossChem when you switch from local to global. At that time when you were pivoting to export or slowly going into it, what were the biggest struggles in that first decade while you were building CrossChem, especially going into different directions? Raw materials.
Yep.
Okay.
You really needed a product which is in a good price, in increasing quantity. It cost a hell, and You might be thinking that, okay, there's always one question, there's not enough money, And when you are small or doing something, the banks are not trusting in you. So you don't get a chance to get the money to develop yourself. So you're being kept in a way, slowly rising, But you have a potential to rise 200, 300% per year. You don't have money that much. And that's a crucial point. So I really needed to a chance to get some free cash flow in. Actually, as cheap as possible raw material. So what I did, okay, my family. My mother is born in Latvia, but grandmother is Russian. My father is Latvian. My grandfather was sent to Siberia, so my father was born in Russia. So father, during his early ages, was just rising up and living with the guys who somehow made their steps in Russia and in politics and things like that. So I had a chance to visit the people who was actually letting me in and listening me as a gas plant managers. So you just imagine gas plant, which is a billion company, and there's some guy from Latvia is coming in, and he's been, let's say, invited. Somebody's talking with him, and you're coming to the point that this is a chemical I need. This is a way I want this product to get to me. And they're somewhere in Ural, so it's like, you need to fly a few hours to there. And in reality, I was sitting on a table. There was a lot of chemists around, and they say, how we can do it, and then we made to the point what the teacher told me and how we should be getting the right product out of a chemical plant. There was 2 railway cars I actually first ordered, and they came to Liepāja, to Duna, and we unloaded them. It cost me a Rolex watch at that time. It was, everybody likes presents. And it was horrible, not the horrible, it was just a step you needed to do. Everybody understood.
It's just how they do business there,
Exactly, and then it started. And when the raw material came in for good prices, then it moved on.
This is this material, raw material, urea, yes?
Yeah, but it's specific. Urea, you have different ureas.
Yeah.
Yes, you have one urea which farmers are using and it costs, let's say, 300 euros a day, and they just drop it on the ground.
Okay.
And you have urea with whom you're looking for after heliobacteria in your stomach.
Yeah, okay.
And it costs, let's say, 200 euros for gram of this product.
1 gram of
1
urea.
ton for 300, and you have 200 euros per 1 gram. So it's a different type of urea.
Yeah.
And you use urea in chemicals, in cosmetics, in colors, in glues, everywhere. And there's a different urea, different prices, different specifications.
Yeah.
And for AdBlue, you need this very specific product to produce very specific, clean AdBlue in end.
Okay, and at that point, okay, so you have solved that issue for now, but I assume that at that point you already knew that you need to diversify and look for other manufacturers across that country where you went to get it initially. So how did you pivoted to how did you created that whole network? Because I imagine you don't have just one supplier of that; you have many of them, just to diversify the risks.
Yeah, and the Germans are good,
Yeah.
and after some while, some Polish producers popped up. So
Okay.
slowly they started to
So
come
it increased,
in.
yeah.
But it was the beginning of everything. So there was like a product available, then there was a need of raw material, and how you get this raw material, how you blend it. These all questions is popping.
Yeah.
And of course, understanding that there is always a cash flow, how much you money need. There's a salesman who need to sell. There's a customer who is not paying. There's a raw material invoice which you need to pay, and it might be some already several hundred thousands you need to cover to get the product, which will come maybe after 30 days, and then you will produce it. And after only 60 days, you get your money. So
Long
you need
cycle, yeah.
and with increasing as we did, like I know in the beginning it was like 300% per year, 400%
Wow,
per year. So
okay.
you really need to have a big cash flow. Today, it is much more easier. You just, let's say, tell the story. If somebody believes in your story, you issue the bonds, you get the money, and go on.
Yeah.
But at that time, it was like
Nowhere
who
close
was
to that,
thinking
yeah.
about bonds? Who was thinking? You just had a bank who was making your transactions,
Yeah.
and you go to the bank and they're looking at you. Hey, no, you're too risky.
Yeah.
You're doing this. We don't know you. And then who will help you? So
Okay.
It was the.
Interesting. One just last question, touching upon this subject. It's very interesting. Did idea cross your mind that you could get like a private investment in your company at that point when all the banks said it's like no from us, etc., etc. Did someone offered actually, or no? Nobody trusted you that much.
No. Trust is one thing.
Yeah.
It's what you're delivering from opposite side is also important.
Yeah.
So it's we was able. I can say like this: we was able to balance it between what we needed and what we had. It was hard. We had to take some credits. So it actually we needed to support a cash flow and fundamentally have some additional money on our pockets to keep it going, but we was able to manage it. And the good thing was the Scandinavians was paying good price, was paying on time. There was really good step in making this all. After some while, Australia popped up.
Yeah.
Imagine. So we're delivering to Netherlands, delivering the truck.
Yeah.
And I'm paying 2 times cheaper to deliver to Australia instead of delivering to Netherlands.
Yeah.
So the cost of it was insane, and Australia can pay. And Australia is a huge market. So if we understand that we are able to sell 10, 20 containers per month to Australia, wow. And the money started to go in because the guys was paying in advance, because it's like 2 months almost the on the sea.
Yeah.
Money in advance, you can produce, you can make, and that's it was all of balancing between all of these things, and probably by luck it worked. And yes, in 2010 it was starting few exports, few things. I actually went to Russia. I set up the company in there and tried to manage this business. Unfortunately, with Russia, it was the problem with euro emissions, and it was the idea like this: euro emissions was supposed to start in 2010, Euro 4. Instead of in Europe, we started in 2004, and Russia should start in 2010, and with Euro 4 emissions.
Yeah,
but the Kamaz was not ready, as understood. They said, okay, we will postpone it for 2 years. You know, we have a company, we have a people, we have office, we have warehouse. The product is in the warehouse. And 2 years, they said, no, it's not yet. So, okay, I said, let's keep it going for next 2 years. In 2012, they said, no, we're still not ready. We'll and then I said, it's not going to be. I'm not going to spend any more 2 years in Russia, flying every day back and forwards, trying to build a business in there. And I jumped in the plane and went to Australia. And 6 months, built a company, opened the warehouse, started actually the production of it, and then I came back to Latvia. And then 2014, it was actually I was back in Latvia and then getting the business in the right way, how it should be done.
Yeah, that's a cool story. So you initially withdrew from Russia and diversified in other markets. Okay.
Yeah, and then it was like this. The Australia guy, we got, it was very clearly that we wanted to do it by ourselves.
Yeah.
We wanted to do and be successful by yourself, but understanding that you cannot be everywhere at the same time. You need partners. And that was something what for me was very easy. I was always okay with partnership. So 50-50 for me was never a problem. So it's fine. So there's no small brother, no big brother. Everybody is equal. So invest in equal positions, you and me, and let's do the business together. And I'm not taking of you anything. Just let's do it together. And that when we changed our mindset and actually went from the process of we will be by ourselves everywhere to the process that we are partnering,
collaborating with everyone.
That's it. And now we're setting it all up with good guys all over. We know how it works. We know how we can, let's say, do it in a quick and cheap and good way. And you just need to have a good guy on the other side.
Yeah, it's interesting because in a lot of like American movies and a lot of in life, I've heard that you always need to have that control package, like 51% of everyone, etc., because then you can dictate your rules and etc. But it feels intrinsically wrong because why do you want to control somebody who you have just started the business? You go equal, and that's what you just said. It's interesting this approach, but it's not often that you want 50-50 because someone usually wants to have the upper hand. I believe in business. No.
Yeah, but then ask your question: why you want?
Yeah.
Why you want to control me? So let's agree. You have your job to be done, and I have my job to be done.
Yeah.
If both of us understanding which is your position and which is on me, and nobody has any today when we're speaking has no other dark minds. Yeah. So we agreed. We sign a paper. We sign a shareholders agreement. Which actually is dividing our responsibilities.
Yes.
That's it.
In one of your interviews, you said if you can build a business in Latvia, you can do it anywhere. Is it harder to do it in Latvia?
If you will be able to survive here, where you have 1 let's say something million people, from which, let's say, 20% can pay. Other ones are just living from salary to salary. And then there is a small amount which has a bit of money. And then from it you have a little bit, even less, let's say maybe 5%, which is doing really something. So imagine what the market you are in. So if you open the bakery in Tokyo, just imagine you're just going in a city and you're seeing there's a line for two blocks. What is it? And there's just a small bakery over there. And why? Because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. So if you are able to go through all these chambers of hell.
Yeah.
in Latvia, believe me, you will be able to do the business everywhere.
Yeah. But initially, so everyone should when they start to build here, if they get paying customers, move out from the market and go abroad right away, or just think about export already from the very beginning. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, let's look like this. So you have a certain amount of trucks.
Yeah.
The guys who is passenger vehicles, let's say, even easier. In each of this vehicle, if he will be needed to, let's say, wash his car or fill it up, so how big will be the business? You can really quite quickly calculate it. And what will be the investment to make, let's say, car wash?
Yeah.
So if everybody will be coming in, this is the size of it, and that's a limitation of it. So if it is fine for you, go on.
Yeah.
Be a businessman in Latvia. If you do want to do something more, so there's a huge, all fantastic, nice, beautiful world, and with a lot of challenges, a lot of interesting things. So it's only up to you. Where is your comfort zone? If you want to be each evening 5 o'clock at home, this is one story. If you really wanted to get a bit of something else, it's also easy to be done. You just need to do it.
Very simple. Let's talk about those not weird markets, but hard, I would say. Maybe they were not that hard for you, I imagine. But for instance, in Japan, you've got to invest serious time up front. Dozens of informal coffee, chats, dinners, low-key catch-ups before anything official gets discussed. Decisions don't come very quickly in Japan, but when they finally land, they tend to stick for a very, very long periods. And the quality expectations, they're usually on very, very different levels. So don't be very surprised when somebody will check your font, something will not be there, and they will just notify you about that. No, this is not acceptable. You need to change everything. So double check. And Australia, on the other hand, is totally different beast. They have a sheer size of this big country. So logistics, something that works in Europe, doesn't work there. So you need to build entirely new relationships with regional fleet providers, with warehousing hubs, etc. And they have these very strict biosecurity laws as well in Australia and New Zealand actually as well. Australia don't mess around when they want to protect their environment, and you're both in both of those markets. All those things that I said, was it actually that hard to complete, or it became like natural?
Okay, in each of these regions, you need the locals.
Yeah.
So don't go the hard story when you need to just purchase a car and you go to accountant, and then accountant explains you 2 hours how big is and how nice is their company, and when you're exiting the office, they're giving you a bill of $2,800. So to avoid such situations, you need locals who is actually already knowing how to buy the car, how to pay the taxes, how to do the things.
Yes.
So and for each of these regions, wherever you will be, you need to get some trustable person over there. So if you're not a local in there by yourself, then you need somebody. And with Aussies, they are a bit racists. Racists. They are. If you're Aussie, everything is fine. If you're not Aussie, wherever you come from, Europe, fantastic. Where are you? Is Europe? Yeah. So you're not my guy. And even if I'll be able to, let's say, pay a bit more but work with Aussie, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So you have to convince him with Aussie. So you need the Aussie in the front, even the European company.
Okay.
In Japan, it's a bit different story. These guys are suspicious to everything. So they wanted to ask 10 times one question and understand, are you lying or not? So if you 10 times say the same thing, okay, you're not lying. And with them, they need the time to understand who are you. So, you came from where? Who are you? We have our own network. We know everybody in my city, in my, let's say, profession.
Circle,
But who are you? And why they need the time? Because they're trying to understand in which human being level you are. We don't speak about casta, but it's like 4 levels of human beings which they try to catch up in which you are. So just a minute, I'll explain.
Yeah, sure.
The first level, it's like samurai type. So
Okay.
it's the highest level. These are all politicians, the people who is living and giving all his life to everybody else, so everybody is happy and every for thinking about everybody. So it's a first they're never rich, but they have enough to kids going to school and things like this. But they are living their life for other people.
Yeah.
The second one is like entrepreneur or more like a zinātniek.
Scientists, yeah.
Scientist,
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
who is thinking with their head how to make another people's lives better.
Yeah.
So second level. Third level is a farmers who is working with their hands to make other people's life better.
Yeah.
And fourth level is poor people. They call it poor people.
Yeah.
The problem is they usually have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all the guys, who is having, let's say, Mercedes and the golden chains,
Yeah.
and they are show off and things like this. So they just wanted to understand, where are you? If you're level 4, okay, you have a guys similar to you, do your business over there. If you are a farmer, you have your own areas where you will be feeling comfortable because you're in this level. If you're a scientist, then this is where you should be.
Yeah.
This is how they wanted to
interesting.
understand you. And if you are passing and understanding that, okay, this is the guy, I am, let's say, doing the business in Japan, and I want to do the business with also the people who is more or less similar in my level. And if you get through it, then it's till the end of your life.
Yeah. That's what I heard as well from a lot of people. Have not worked directly with Japan. We tried to penetrate that market several times with different ways, like expos, materials, LIA even, our Latvian. I don't know the English name. Investment agency. Yeah, they helped us as well, but nothing yet come out. I hope in future for that market to open as well. Okay, let's now be a bit more honest for a minute. Every founder hits those rough patches, those days when everything is not going well, etc., etc. Did you ever felt like walking away from like this business, and if yes, what like actually pulled you through?
Every day. Yeah, but it's not everything before also was honest.
Yeah.
But honestly, the challenges you get each day is challenging you. Are you able to make your next step? Are you able to make waking up in the morning? Why shouldn't you stay at home? Why you should go to the work? Why you need to have a problem solving questions and answers and things like this. So it's never stopping. And the only one thing, how far you want to go. So if the level you have been reached and it's fine for you, you stop.
Yeah.
If it's not enough, you go for forward. So it's just how much you want by yourself. Maybe the people who is doing a sports or was doing a sports before, I was in the Latvian national team of wrestling, and you can't turn around when you are on a tatami, let's say, yeah. So you have to go to the end, and there's just a question: where is the end? And then you put your stars. You're trying to reach them, and it's. There was many times you had a chance to throw it all out,
Tap out, yeah,
and say that's it. But no, you just okay. It was very hard. You just come together. You think it over. What should be done? Maybe even dropping and laying down, and then again starting to stand up. So, and many times. In these 20 years, it's been hundreds of times.
Okay. Yeah. That's really honest, because always when owners say no, I'm always like motivated, etc. It's sugarcoating. I can imagine. I think Elon Musk, we will quote him. He said this very good phrase: "Building your own business is like eating just broken glass every day for X amount of years of how long you are in the business." I don't know if it's accurate or not, but yeah, that's his description of the of the
very close. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's talk more about leadership and team. You once been asked about the characteristics of good employee. So what is good employee in your opinion? You answered someone that shares your mindset. Yes. What does it actually mean, like, to find someone that shares your mindset for you?
Okay, Tom, it's
I'm always, when you're saying, okay, Tom, I'm feeling like your father. Sit down, son. I will teach you some lessons.
no, I just needed to bit of think it over, but
Sure.
to make it clear, I don't. Okay, let's pretend. Okay, I'm thinking how the world is turning.
Yeah.
I am having my idea, whatever it is, but I cannot do everything. So I need somebody who is also believing what I believe.
Yeah.
So this is how the big, strong personalities are made. I think so. It's like you have an idea and you're trying to get somebody who has also following your idea.
Yeah.
Two together, if you will be able to keep it going, in one moment there will be, instead of 2, 4.
Mm-hmm.
After 4 you have 8.
Yeah.
After 8 you have 16.
Yeah.
And as bigger will be the followers group who will be leaving and having one target which you are pushing, the amount is limited only of how much you can have.
Yeah.
How big team you can have. If you can have, I don't know, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, imagine the size of the company and what will be done.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem in the world, I believe, is that there is no one common goal for all of us. I want to buy a house, I want to buy a car, I wanted to go to the trip and things like this. But just imagine if we put our all heads together and have one common goal.
Yeah.
What will happen after 1 year?
Yeah, it's crazy. Focus does wonders. Yeah. It's
And
a bit similar to cult, the description actually.
and with employees, it is the same. You really want them to feel the flow, feel the energy you are having.
Yeah.
And if they will catch it up, then everybody will be happy. And there is, of course, a time then somebody is I don't know, a little bit tired and they wanted to do some another energy and things like that. And it's fine. It's good. But you're just trying to keep the team around you, which is the same mindset and ready to go with these targets. Yeah.
Okay. You right now lead a company with 20 plus facilities and many ends in different countries. What your day-to-day role looks like now? So let's take, for example, yesterday. So what you did whole day.
Yesterday. Okay. When I really need to find a solution, I'm waking up early. It's not waking up. I'm just opening eyes. Yesterday was 3 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And then it's about like my brains are working a little bit differently, like problem solving moment for me. I can think it out, think it over, all of the situations which it could be from one way or another, and how it turns around. And then let's say hour and a half, I might be writing something, I may be emailing something, I may be just thinking something, and then I can go back to sleep maybe for an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then it's 6 o'clock, is just physical clock for me. I cannot sleep anymore. So it is something like this. So it went up about 3 o'clock. I finished and I went to sleep again about 4:30.
Yeah.
At 6 o'clock, I wake up and went to we're having this BNI and these
networking events.
Meetings. And after this was like, coming to the office, we had interviews with marketing girls, and there's a question and problem solving process. So when what I'm doing, I'm solving the problems all day long.
Yeah.
And it might be nice problems, it might be not nice problems, but you're just doing this and this. And of course, you're trying to keep the people who is helping you, people who is knowing better things in chemical especially. You don't know very deep things, so then you're collecting this all together to solve another problem. And these small steps move you forward.
So basically what you're saying, you don't have like some type of schedule as they write in the books. It's always every day is really different, but it comes down to all day solving different problems, and it can turn at different points of the day.
But the calendar is fixed. Every 15 minutes, 30 minutes is fixed.
Yeah.
The plan is very, very tight.
Yeah.
So time to time, there's, let's say, lunch time, there's maybe 15 minutes booked, but not always you have 15 minutes to have your lunch. But there definitely have to be a plan. The calendar should be fixed. You really need to know that some people is relying on your time and you're relying on their time. So you're just fixing for all of us the day plan.
Yes.
And moving forward on the questions which is popping up at exact moment.
Okay. Every founder has strengths and weaknesses. Nowadays, you have to delegate a lot of things because you just need to save your time for the most important things and priorities. What is maybe one thing that you haven't been able to delegate for the past few years? And is this a job or task that you still enjoy doing, or there are no things that you cannot delegate?
There's one thing I'm still doing and probably will be doing.
Yeah.
It's making a payments.
Okay, really?
Yeah. So I'm checking everything what is going out of our company. Each bill, I know him, I sign him, I know what is in it, and I see it in the bank and approving it.
You just like it, or there's some kind of reason behind that? Somebody, I don't know, screw you at one point with finances or something like that, or no? Just
having a touch of how it flows.
Okay.
Yeah, so you really are in the middle of the process of how money is made.
Yeah.
So you really see how much you have in account. You see what it goes away.
Yeah.
You can a little bit at least control it.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, invoices are coming in one day, and it's not always like you know when it will arrive. You have certain payment terms, so you have to keep it. Of course, it might be that there is one day when you have but we're doing a lot of planning. The cash flow planning is very important. The accountancy, the books, and all the things have to be very, very tight walls.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. We don't let anybody who is our supplier to wait the money from us. We really pay bills in time.
Yeah.
We pay the salaries in time. We pay taxes in time, and this is like so. The salaries payment day for me is like the day when I can say it's the most enjoyable day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I really like when I see that there is a good numbers, which means that these guys have been working good, and the result is also good.
Yeah.
When numbers are not good, or let's say maybe was not able to earn that much as we should, and things like this, that this is not what I would like to see.
Yeah, and you start to ask questions probably as well. Yeah.
And of course we agreeing the salary payments already before everybody's coming, and we thinking this needed this. Okay, this guy was good. Let's have a premium to this and this and this. But bonus, and let's do this and that. But in reality, when you pay a good salaries, you know that there is a good income also behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. This is great insight. If I showed up tomorrow and spent time with everyone at CrossChem offices, just watching how they work, maybe think, what's one thing I would notice right away about your employees? One that comes into your mind right away.
Regarding employees, positive people with I would like to think like that they are having the same mindset as I do.
Yeah.
Not all of them need to have it, but I really would like that they would have it. And regarding the CrossChem, one step back. If there is, have you ever been in terminals in Latvia where you have a chemicals railway coming in and things like this?
Yeah.
So usually you need Zābaki.
Boots,
Boots, but you know the boots when you're going on the rain.
Yes, the rain boots,
Rain boots, so because it's
rubber ones,
dirt.
Yeah.
It's dirt everywhere. And in CrossChem you can walk in your home slippers.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be
Everything
clean.
is clean, yeah.
You need to have this cleanness so
Yeah.
that people who is with you also is keeping this cleanness not only in his place of working, but in company at all.
Mm-hmm.
How you can manage the things if it's dirty.
Yeah. Okay, that's good mindset because always I have heard the saying that how clean is your room? Show me your room, and I will show you how clean is your mind as well. So that's something that you follow, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tom, time to time it's good to go to toilet.
Yeah,
also,
of course.
To see how clean is the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah, this one I have heard previously as well. To check how well the toilet looks in companies. That's a big representation of what happens internally. Yeah. Okay. This will be a bit trickier question. You're leading a company producing chemical solutions like AdBlue, which obviously play a key role in reducing emission. Yet, chemistry and sustainability for a lot of people doesn't come and sit easily in the same sentence. So how do you balance this large-scale chemical production with long-term environmental responsibility? I know that you're reducing the emissions, etc., but it's not clear for most of the people.
Okay, so everything what is around us is chemicals.
Yeah.
So even this table is being built from the chemical substances to keep it together. And there is a chemicals with whom we are now living with.
Yeah.
And there is a right way of dealing with them. So you have a vehicle who needs an engine coolant, right?
Yes.
So why? The engine don't come too hot.
Yeah.
But you don't drink it, right?
Of course.
So you just choose the right purpose for right chemical.
Yeah.
You drink water, it's also chemical. So you don't drink engine coolant. You use the chemicals in the right way. That everything is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So you always have a chemicals who can harm more if it's used in not right way, and harm less if it's also used not right way. So there is fertilizers which, if it's splitted, it will not make a big problem. But we all remember. It was like 3-4 years ago when there was this huge disaster in Kabul.
Yeah.
So when there was like
a big explosion,
4,000 or 5,000 tons of ammonium nitrate went up. So you can use the same chemical in two different variations.
Yeah.
In one way, it's doing the good thing. Another day, it's doing a horrible thing. So you just need to behave with the chemicals in the correct way.
Yeah.
The problem in Baltics, what we see, that still we have a lot of regulations. We need to pass a lot of specific documentation, certification. Still, the way of people are dealing with chemical is very poor. So we still have this Soviet way of something, how this will be okay and not a big problem. But when you have an experience and you're going to the plants which look perfect, where the people know how to deal with it, it's what we really wanted to achieve. We wanted to that people will come to CrossChem, they really see that everything is being done in the right way. So if it is one day that we can have a stainless steel, sparkling, nice looking tanks and things like this, this is a dream come true.
Yeah. I can actually vouch for this because I have been in inside your plant 2 times, and both of the times were like clean as hell. And that's one thing I noticed, that everything is shiny, clean, fresh, and you don't have any anything to show on or something to look at.
How was your feeling inside?
It's fresh, fresh. It was fresh. I wasn't feeling any chemicals, something like that. Probably I had some stereotypes of how plants should look like, and your plant wasn't looking like that. But I have also been in big plants in Germany, exactly the same.
But then you become trust.
Yeah.
You start to trust it.
Yeah.
If it is somewhere leaking, it's somewhere splitting, and then you are in chemical company. You just run away from it.
Yeah.
So you really need to understand that where you're doing the business, it's safe, it's good. You can do it also tomorrow and many years after.
Yes. Okay, Europe is aiming big with green energy, more renewables, more electrification, and ambitious deadlines. It's the 2050, I think, goal zero or direction zero. But with all the current roadblocks like infrastructure, supply chains, and economic pressure, do you think those targets are actually doable, the ones that Europe has put as a goal? Or we'll need to shift.
One thing with these politicians, I personally don't have a nice feeling when they're saying you have to do something.
Yeah.
And I don't have a feeling that it's really I have to trust what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Let's see how it goes on. We have a good targets, 0 emissions, everything is fine.
Yeah.
But I would say that let's live and see what it will be. Targets are good, but the life is a little bit differently. And I think that not always what is being said is real truth.
I have one, and it's backed a bit by different presentations and documents I have read, and I somehow feel that, for instance, this electrification direction, it will not go as planned, because I believe from combustion engine to electric engine, it's not one straight line. You have to have some kind of middle technology in between. And one step is your AdBlue, I believe. It's already decreasing the emissions, but then you need to something hybrid, something that is easier for people to understand, because the electric anxiety, we have this term, it's actually true, and I have experienced that, although I thought that I will never experience that, but it's true, because you don't do it on daily basis, and then sometimes you misplan your route, and then you have to think a lot about where to get the charge, and there's not huge infrastructure here in Latvia, or even like in Lithuania or in other countries, you still need to look for it. So I think there's always some kind of middle ground where we will land, probably in between.
It's just wonderful that there is a new opportunities, whatever it calls. Let it call electricity, let it call ammonia, let it call hydrogen, whatever it goes on. There's just an options, and there is a new businesses is possible. There is a new things what's going on. As I said, there's a huge problem because of this one general target. We don't have it.
Yeah.
And Trump has one, another was another. And when we are trying to split ourselves to get our interests more prioritized and things like this, we're just losing. So if we all of us understand that, what is important for me is important that you around of us, around of our company are getting better.
Yeah.
Just imagine, I have my guys who is working with me. My best idea is to make everybody who is in my team one mindset, one target, and make all of it stronger and stronger, and with better result for tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
And now we are in a situation that there is too many targets in too many ways.
Yeah, yeah.
And where we are in the same, these 3 threes. Yes, as we say, you get lost in 3 trees.
Yeah,
yes, and you just moving us and in the
circles.
Never getting further. And how it will be, I don't know. We will go with the flow, and of course, if it turns the one way or another way, we will also turn.
Yeah, be flexible.
But if we can join somehow and make it really focused on develop what humans have been developing already. Imagine what happened since Middle Ages and where we are with our iPhones and other things. It's incredible.
Yeah.
If we would be focusing on one thing, what will be the result after 1 year?
Yeah. It's crazy, as I said, that you can do with right and unified focus. If we speak about like a bit about product portfolio of CrossChem, which solutions you are personally most excited about in the future? You have this AdBlue Evo, the new generation AdBlue Biocid 71 bed cleaner. I know you want them all to be like very successful, and they will probably be in different levels. But what's like one that you think is like your maybe dark horse, or I don't know, trump card or something like that?
Okay, it's we're trying to not speak much about our future plans.
Okay, got it.
There is unstoppable flow from our R&D, and just recently, yesterday, we were speaking about one product and how it be done and this way, and it will never stop. So we are just thinking what could be better solution for some problem.
Okay.
And we have a customers. We trying to listen where their problem and trying to give the solution. If we get it, and if it will be successful, not only for this one customer, for many customers, there will be one more success story. So and you're just doing these trials, and one of them might be making a new AdBlue story, but you're just doing it, and thanks God we can afford it.
Yeah. That's cool. So basically, you would bet on listening to customers and their problems. Yeah, cool. Let's switch a bit to technology and artificial intelligence. Right now, as you know, maybe heard in your circles, there's like huge hype about the artificial intelligence. Where are you in this whole craziness scale about this technology? Are you more watching from sidelines, or are you heavily learning and practicing and trying to implement, etc., in your life right now?
Okay, I'm using it.
Okay.
And trying to keep not only me, but with whom we are working to, that we are valuable as long as we can develop something.
Yeah.
The artificial intelligence, it's something what is getting the experience from huge amount of people, putting it together and giving you again a solution as a solution which he got from everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's something like you putting all together and giving the same to somebody else.
Yeah.
Which is just in that certain moment has been required. But why we are humans? We are the ones which is, would you like, let's say, one step back, live in a world where everybody is, let's say, wearing blue jeans, white shirts, walking on one side of the road.
Yeah, probably
and
not.
everybody, this is what is, let's say, artificial intelligence is bringing to you. Everybody is having one basic box.
Yeah, nothing unique.
And we are different.
Yeah.
We are the ones which is looking with the eyes and say, hey, why not blue shirt, t-shirt?
Yeah.
Why it shouldn't be looking something like this? And we're trying to do it and keep it in a way, even using these kind of products, that we are adding our value to it. It is nothing what we can just take and give to somebody.
Yeah.
It is what we have to bring as our own. And as our own, adding individuality, our individuality to it. So it's good that it can save time.
Yeah.
But you still need to put your soul in it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and all the knowledge that you experience that you have is like unique, and if you combine it together, that's a really good answer. I like it because everyone wants to automatize everything, but there are some things that you just don't need to do, and just use it as a multiplier of yourself, not like I don't know, multiply something else.
You are unique.
Yeah,
you Tom are unique. I am different. We are each very, very, very unique. So this unique thing you have to do in a thing what you do. Put in what you do.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we touched upon this artificial intelligence a bit, but and you partially answered this question already, but in which maybe processes, or is AI already part of CrossChem operations, logistics, R&D, forecasting? What's something that you can reveal how you are using it?
So you need to write some technical descriptions and technical materials for the customer, and this is the one which is mostly used.
Yeah.
We can say in marketing.
Yes. Yes.
But then still, you don't do a copy and paste.
Of course. Yeah.
You're getting a details. You think it just taking you a much of a time, and then you're just reading it through and getting it in a way which is your way, your colors, your flavor, and that's of course is helping us to save a huge amount of hours.
Yeah.
In production, we can say we are on the way to get it. It is a lot of the things which we need to get it through before that. So the process organizing and things like this. Yes, you really want that the process is being already prepared to start to do it automatically. But you need to understand how it goes from where to where, when it will be standing, how long it has to be standing. So you need to do your homework. And this is what we're doing for, let's say, last and this year. We want to do our homework. We understanding what is the situation in geopolitics today.
Yeah.
And only target we have is to be on a full power when it all stops or finishes, and when the end of the COVID will come again. Yes, something like that. Because we all remember when the COVID finished, there was a huge boost of energy. So we do understand the situation today is not in the pleasant for anybody who is doing business or anything, transporting or things like this. So we just want to be shaped up with a full power when the moment will stop, so we can do our step.
Yeah, cool. And many Latvian businesses still see AI as a buzzword. But what would you say to the local founder who's maybe a bit hesitant to adopt it, so that like it triggers him and maybe gets some action rolling?
Don't lose your individuality and use it in a way it helps you to make a quicker answers, questions, and something like this. So just don't rely on him as on yourself. Just be specific, be your individual. And if you will be, humans still want to see humans. Yes,
of course,
we like these touches and talks and things like this. I believe this what can save the world. Even the Terminator will come one day. But that's why we are talking with you now, because there is something what you have in your mind, why you are doing this all your day and making this podcast on and why we are doing this what we do all day, because we are a little bit individual. And if we use it in the correct way, just don't say that please do all my job. Do your job.
I don't know if there's similarities with you described the chemicals previously, and the things, the ideas and the motivations we are doing are like chemicals. We can use it in one way, it's good, and we can use it in other way, and it's not so good and does not create very good results. So this is exactly the same. Exactly. That's why we're different. We had different chemicals. Okay, a bit more about personal side. If you get back to your childhood, were you always this driven, like even as a kid, like you were when you were in school? I don't know if you remember kindergarten, but school, university.
It was too crazy. Kindergarten. I think I don't know. My mother probably is. Have went through a lot of very bad days with me. Okay, something, but I was not even 4 years. I just went away from kindergarten. We was with the kids somewhere out in a football field. And I decided that it's not interesting. And I thought I will go to my granny, and it's like 2-3 kilometers away from everybody. And I was lost for the kindergarten, so everybody was searching me. and I don't know. It started then.
Okay.
And then it was different things. I maybe not like to mention everything, but it's been a crazy thinking all the time in my head. Sometimes I'm feeling bored and I wanted to do something differently. And then it brings me as I am.
Yeah. That's cool.
I don't know, is it cool, but it's
No, it's
it
a
makes
different
me
way
me.
of thinking. Yeah, it's a different way of thinking, especially the story when you're 4 years old, you want to go outside the boundaries of the kindergarten because you decided it yourself. Okay, where do you go physically or mentally when you need to recharge? So what you do for recharging? You probably don't work more. Sports, yeah.
Sports, run, tennis, and this is
No meditation. That's not your
no
type.
meditation is when you're thinking and putting your mind in a way of thinking, and you can think about everything.
Yeah.
So you can dream, you can solve the questions, and this is a bit of different meditation.
Yeah.
But to recharge, go for a run, go for with bicycle, I don't know, 20 kilometers this way, back way, go for tennis, play
Just
sports.
switch the environment, yeah,
Boom.
and get the juices flowing. Yeah.
And you know, after each of such activities, you get much of energy in you. So
that's true.
Something like that. So it's good to sit in the sofa or but
Yeah.
and have a beer, but but it's not giving you big boost.
Yeah. It gives you boost in first 10 minutes and then it's huge drop. With sports, it's other way around. It's like very, very not gives you boost. It it takes your energy from the start because it's very, very hard to do sports and hard stuff. But then afterwards, it's so rewarding. Yeah.
It's hard to start.
Yeah. The start is
but then
hardest.
it's good. And with a beer, it's differently.
Yeah,
It's
the start is
start.
easy, but the end is worse. Yeah, one of the segments in my podcast is usually about mentors, and one of this is our sponsor, Draugiem Group Mentor Clubs, who is giving us money for this podcast to actually create everything, etc., etc. So kudos to them. But about your mentors and your life, do you have mentors in your life, or you are maybe mentoring someone?
I have somebody who I'm maybe admiring, yes, and I don't know much, you know.
Yeah.
How much do you know about your wife? Yeah, you can live with her 20 years and then you just figure out who is she.
Yeah.
And then hopefully it's good. But something what you see the people do and you really think that this is what I really would like to do. So I have few guys which I'm thinking it's what I can say. They're mentoring me without knowing it. Regarding me, myself, it's just a life. You know, you're trying to keep yourself in several lines, rules, and you're trying to don't cross the
Boundary
red lines.
Yeah.
So you might be, you know, I don't know. It's always have a feeling that there is a like karma. Yes, if you do bad thing, just wait. One day, few days, it will return back.
Yeah.
If you do good thing, just one period of time, it comes back. So what you wanted to get, if you wanna get something, and in this kind of a way, I'm trying to mentor my kids, my surroundings, and just by being this kind of a person, that's it. And if somebody is enjoying it and somebody is really wanted to keep it going, I'll be happy. If there will be some questions, we'll be happy to somehow give this, I don't know, my inside feeling how it goes on. But don't want in reality to come to you and say how is your life should be.
Yeah.
So it's your life. It's my life. So if you get something out of it, perfect.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, this one will be maybe I would say not the most important part of the podcast, but I would like you to put a bit thought in this because might go far this message. So it's like a psychological exercise. Let's imagine you have gathered 100 CEOs of Latvia's most promising startup companies, yes? If you're not startup, you're very experienced businessman. And those companies are from various fields, technology, I don't know, biotech, science, whatever, yes? And they're all sitting in conference room, you are on the stage, and you have their full attention for 5 minutes. Yes. What is like this one powerful piece of advice, and you can expand a bit on that, you would share with them so that after leaving this conversation, they don't just think, but also they make some kind of decision, do some kind of action to significantly improve their business, maybe start to export or whatever?
Okay, there's a lot of different people, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's hard when there's a lot of different people, but once again, returning back, if there would be 5 minutes and there could be asked a question, is there something what we could call a one goal? If we are 100 very good, successful businessmen, we have a power, we have a people, we have everything we probably need to do something fantastic. So let's make this one common target. And if we will work, let's say 1 year, all of us for one certain target. You can do your own business, you do your podcast, I'm still doing my chemical, but we have and fixed one certain goal we are all focused on. What we can achieve in 1 year. Whatever it will be a fantastic. It's like, you know, let's imagine we want to make a fantastic party. What a party it will be if all of us 100 will be thinking how good it can be done.
That's crazy. This is good perspective because it shows, and several times in our conversation you mentioned this focus, one thing, one direction, unity, a group. We can go faster like that. That's interesting. This party is good actually example because a lot of CEOs in Latvia and a lot of companies are thinking about competing with each other, but you can't compete in here. That's first, and the second is there's two big world around, and I think this one unifying goal. I don't know what was in your mind exactly, not party obviously, but something else. But this goal might like actually make sense to agree on it and just to go, and we can go in different directions, but at the end come into one.
Choose any. So if you have, once again, your team, which is, let's say, believing in you. What you want that they are feeling good, that they are safe. You definitely don't want to kill them. Yes, you want to lead them into the way that everybody are happy around. It's this Japanese thinking that you are the one for another ones. And if you are able to put together mindset of 2, 4, 8, 24, hundreds of people, you can achieve impossible things. It's just a mere, I don't know. Please understand, Adolf Hitler was a very
always everything starts good when you quote him, but continue.
But what he could with his words, how he could collaborate, how many people in his mission. The mission was crazy. If it would be another one, if we could, as a Latvians, stop fighting. I don't know, I'm bakery and you are bakery, and I want to make you a smaller bakery, but come together and make a really. Let's see what Lithuanians do. Just a small example how they're cooperating and how they're pushing forward. And the Latvians, I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit less Latvian than everybody else, but I think that power is in a joining force, and then you can.
And we see it. I see it in business I'm working in, and a lot of companies outside in Latvia, they are doing collaborations. Even competitors, we are doing collaborations with our direct competition. So it means something that you can't work in the old way of doing business anymore because everything is interconnected. And the same in country. We take Latvia for example. Everything is interconnected. We have deals where we go into and we see another big exporting company, and why should I tell something bad about the company, or they're not even competitors, but anyway, if you go into one deal, you have one target, it's more powerful together. I see that happening in outside of Latvia as well. In Latvia, we're somehow slower to adapting this mindset.
Tom, what you do or what you give is what you get.
Yes.
Yes. If you are already programming yourself to somehow harm somebody else,
Yeah.
what you get back.
Yeah. Okay, we're slowly approaching the end of this conversation, and what I would like to do is I would like to give you complete control of this podcast. You have the opportunity to promote absolutely anything you wish, to talk about topic maybe you feel is important and we didn't touch upon it, or just ask me a question.
Thank you, Tom, for having me today. It's really one of the experiences I have never been before. It's fantastic feeling to talk to you, and then the warm and the friendship. It's without any big walls between us. So I not know you much, but it's really like friendly feeling to be here. So first of all, probably I would like to wish you good luck in what you do, and keep it doing in a way specific, your unique way, and everything will be perfect. And trying to learn something to another people, it's just a fantastic thing. So if you are able to get the good guys on your table to somehow help another one to, or kick an ass or something like this, that they are doing something better than they did it yesterday or time before, just wish you that. I regarding questions, I'm no questions to you. I think we had a very nice talk, and it's a great thing when we are actually with our time can be valuable for somebody else.
Yes.
So wish that somebody is evaluating what we did today. And so let's hope you'll have a nice, good guests.
Thanks.
And wish you a good luck.
Thanks for the warm, kind words. And so to round up, it's very important to have influential people in this podcast, and the ones that have done the work. The numbers and everything is backed up by every word that, for instance, you are saying. You have a huge company. You have a huge following as well. I referred to cult previously. You have like cult following in your CrossChem company. So it's cool to see your mindset and to see how you think, and basically put a bit of your mind on paper and show it to other people of how maybe you could be. What you could do if you just focused your energy in the right direction. So thank you for this mindset that you brought to this table, and wish you best of luck with your company.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks.